Massive thrill.
Yeah, really, really proud of the playing group to have a massive changeover from last year. If you talk personnel and the youth that's come into the team, yeah, for them to experience and to play in a really hostile environment away from home and to rally the way they did, certainly after the start, was very pleasing.
What did you say to them at quarter time to get them back into it?
Just to realign with some of our focuses. And to be honest, at quarter time, the scoreboard, you know, although it wasn't flattering, there are a lot of metrics that we looked at that we were actually going okay at. So it's just about sticking to that process, making sure that they understand that it is working in some aspects of the game, and we need to just realign back to that.
So then you got the game back on. It looked like the Sydney game.
Yep.
For a fair portion of the time then. Did you feel like there was key moments you were starting to win in that first quarter, which was always going to carry over once you got the scoreboard happening as well?
Yeah, I think at half time we'd had 19 front half turnovers. You know, so the ability to be able to get the game played in your front half. We were +9 or something in the clearances. We were plus a couple in contested ball, and when you talk clearance and contested ball, that's where Fremantle when they win, they're so strong at. You know, so it was really pleasing to be able to match them in that area and to try and get some ascendancy ahead of the ball.
How did you view Joel Amarty's moment? It looked like he was done when he was hobbling off the ground, but came back and kicked the winner for you.
Oh, and to his credit, he's worked extremely hard over the whole pre-season. You know, and to be able to fight through and find a way was really impressive. You know, I think he was really sore towards the back end of the game, and to go back against their defenders, you know, their quality behind the ball, and to give first of all, a really strong contest, but then to actually do it and then convert was really impressive.
Just bad corky, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, so there's no severe injuries out of the game, so that's a pleasing thing going into a bye.
Chad Warner to lift in some really key aspects. What do you make of his game
Yeah,
today?
I think that's when you need your best players to stand up. That's what they do. You know, I thought his impact in the last quarter was profound. James Rowbottom, young Riley Bice, you know, to be able to run and take the game on in your second full game of AFL football is really impressive for a young player, even though he is 24. So, yeah, there are some moments that everyone had across the ground. You need them to win away from home.
Yeah, and to sub off Grundy, what was you thinking there?
You know, he'd done a fair bit of the workload going into the first probably 3 quarters. So it was an opportunity for Pete to use a fresher person against a one ruck in Jackson. So that was just a decision we make as we go through the game. You know, we've got to work out what we think works best for our football team to win, and especially late on a hot day, to be able to do that. It was just a strategy or a decision we decided to do.
Talk us through Jordan's game.
Yeah.
To play on Sarong and keep him under 20 is rare, but to get 20 on himself and 10 clearances is a terrific performance. I said last week as well, like his ability to be able to focus, stay on task, to knock over key playmakers for the opposition. And I said, even if you start with it or you go to it throughout a game, he can just switch and go, okay, well, now I'm doing this for the team. And I love having those players in our team. There's a reason we got him to the football club, and the players love playing with him. So, you know, he's had a couple of good jobs. He's done really well, and he's had a massive say on the impact, on the result of the game.
There's a bit of a new age tagging role. You know, we're used to seeing a tag absolutely locked down, you know, sacrifice his own game, but we're seeing Jordan rack up huge numbers while still doing that lockdown.
Yeah, and that's one thing I always want to make sure, that we're a hard two-way team. And, you know, we want to instill in our young players that's the way we want to play going forward. So that's one thing. But when James does it, his ability to be able to know when to step off his man and when to lock back onto his man is as good as I've seen in a long time. So the balance he has there is really great. So, yeah, he'll have some other big jobs coming in the back end of the year, and, you know, it'll be a dynamic between do we want his run versus do we knock someone over.
With some taggers, they do it. They're like, all right, I'm going to do this for the team. Others just love the role. What's he like?
He's a bit of both. You know, I think the thing that he says to you at the start of the week, okay, you go, oh, I might be thinking of doing this. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. You know, so you've got players at the footy club that will do whatever it takes for the team and for the best interest of the team, and James is one of those.
There was a powerful photo taken at the end of the game. Chad Warner pulled the jumper up the crowd, given he's in Perth and he's representing it like that. What does that what does it make you think when you see him play like that and then do something like that?
Oh, I think he's a passionate person. He's passionate about the footy club. So, for me, I want to make sure that, first of all, Chad plays his best footy for this football club and he enjoys his time whilst he's here. Hopefully that is for longer. I've said that all the way through. You want to keep your best players, and Chad's one of those. So that's a process we continually work through. But he's passionate. He loves his time with the footy club and loves playing with his teammates.
Does your first win as a head coach, does it feel different to your first win as a player, or when you're an assistant coach? What's it feel like now?
I'm just proud of and excited for the players. To experience what they did away from home. They're the great wins that you see as a football club. And for me, it's my process wouldn't have changed if we were 0-3 or we win our first game. So I think one thing a coach has to do is be really consistent, and I've tried to maintain that.
Does it feel a bit full circle for yourself personally though? You get your first win as coach here in Perth, where you're literally a favourite son.
Yeah, it is a bit different where you probably get your first one. I think, for us, I would have loved to have had it round 0. But we play we've played 3 really, really strong football teams. So the pleasing thing was in both of those first 2, we had positions to where we were in the game to win it. And we didn't quite get it done, and tonight we did. So, I'm just wrapped for the players, and they get to experience, obviously, the win, their first one of the season, going into a bye, but knowing there's still a lot of work to be done.
How do you handle an early bye when you've got a bit of momentum there? You probably feel like you want to be playing next week.
Yeah, that's just the way it sort of falls. We had a really condensed period through January and February leading into our first round 0 game. So, it's probably get that as quick as we possibly could and as prepared as we could. And, one thing we wanted to do was to get our players fit for the year. I won't compromise having players that aren't ready, just to get them back in the team. So we get a bye now, we get a chance to reset. We also get a chance to look at our game and how's that stacking up. You get 3 weeks in to go, are we doing things right? Do we need to change anything? And we've got a bit of time to do it. So that's also good.
What's your gut feel about that?
It's going okay. I think it's proven that, when we play our best, we're good enough to beat anyone, and we've still got areas that we need to continually work on, and that'll take time. The way we defend's been a little bit different. Some methods we do with and without the ball has changed, but we've got to make sure that we hone that in and sort of understand what the opposition's going to do, but also consolidate what we want to do.
Must feel a couple more balanced with McCartan down back, and Clean worked hard for the goals that he got as well.
Yeah, it did. And with Tom, he was always going to be a week-to-week prospect, the opportunity to do it. We knew that Hayden and Logan weren't available early in the year, so the opportunity to try that. Tommy was a bit scratchy early in the first half, but I thought he battled really well, and to not train there for the summer and then to go back against a really strong forward Fremantle outfit and compete the way he did was really good.
Were you surprised, or can you talk us through quarter time with Fremantle going off the ground? Were you surprised that happened? Did you get that chance to go off and go underneath into the shade?
I knew we had an extra 2 minutes because of the heat policy. Our decision was, we stay out on the ground. We embrace the conditions. We work as hard as we can through them. So that wasn't going to change. We were in the shade anyway. So, you just take a couple more minutes. You can relax a little bit more before you give your message.
Does it feel a bit monkey off the back though, going into the bye with a win now, as opposed to going in, without one yet? It can really affect your confidence and mentality.
No, possibly. I sort of look at not the outcome, more about how we go about and the way we want to play. And there were metrics throughout both Hawthorn and Brisbane that we were really pleased at. We just couldn't do it for long enough. And I think that's what happens with, some young players and some, teams that you come up against, that you're going to waver a bit. And, I thought at some stage the wins will come if we keep producing what we're doing. Thanks, guys. Thank you.